good, gang?
What it do, baby?
Why are you so...
If y'all enjoy videos like this, let me know in the comment section.
Saying pull the trigger to kill your son, you know, masturbates to memory.
What?
You just gave me 40 years. Sir, listen. You just gave me 40 years. Well, guess what? Sir, what's this?
Yo. That was wild. Oh shit. Turn it down. This shit getting real already.
This is Jaleel Smith-Riley, who is facing charges for murder in Michigan. Smith-Riley was involved in an armed robbery on November 16th, 2013 in Norwood, where he and two other men approached a parked car. Inside the parked car was 20-year-old Portia Brooks and her boyfriend, Aaron Martin. Smith-Riley knocked on the window with a handgun and forced Martin, who was in the passenger seat, out of the car. Jaleel then proceeded to go through Aaron's pockets and demanded his cash. Once Jaleel had taken every dollar Aaron had, he then took his life with a shot to the head, causing permanent brain damage.
Crazy.
However, Jaleel wasn't done there. Right after shooting Aaron, he then leaned into the car and fired at Brooks, who was sitting in the car, twice.
Damn.
And she died 3 days later.
Shit.
Fortunately, Martin survived the shooting, but sustained serious injury.
Okay.
Before the judge announced the sentence that Jaleel would be facing, Portia's family got the chance to address the jury and the man who took their daughter away from them. Sharon Brooks, Portia's mother, brought the box containing her daughter's ashes to the courtroom, as she had for previous court dates. She stated that Smith-Riley had ruined her life and killed her identity as a mother of three.
This is what I have left because of his greed, his selfishness, his complete disregard of and disrespect of others and life. But as you can see, I get nothing back except the reality that she is gone.
Tia Marie Brooks, Portia's sister, also spoke emotionally and requested that Smith-Riley be handed the maximum sentence.
Is he crying?
Deal with life without Portia, so he should deal with life without.
How you crying
Then,
when you
Aaron, who Jaleel
like,
shot in the
you
head,
did it.
spoke to the court.
She's still here with us, and she will always be here. So she's our angel looking over us, helping us get through these hard times.
As if Smith-Riley's crime was not outrageous enough,
I
his
swear I
reaction
thought I
to
saw
his sentence
tears
was
in
even
his
more
eyes.
dramatic. During the trial on August 11th, 2021, Smith-Riley pleaded guilty to aggravated murder and attempted murder. However, he later decided to withdraw his guilty plea against the advice of his attorneys.
He is crying.
From the beginning, this was an emotional day for the families of both of these victims, but when Smith-Riley decided to reverse his plea halfway through the sentencing hearing, they were shocked. And his attorneys were too, in part because it puts the death penalty back on the table.
Prior to receiving his sentence, Jaleel was heard apologizing in court as what appeared to be a last attempt at showing remorse.
Sorry. Had to check something.
This is what I come
Additionally, Jaleel's attorney made a final attempt at saving face.
And he knows it. He can't go back in time and undo what he did.
Despite the tears and the apologies, Judge Charles Kubicki, presiding over the case in Hamilton County Common Pleas Court, denied Smith-Riley's request and sentenced him to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The 23-year-old monster that is currently rotting behind bars collapsed to the floor of the courtroom upon receiving his sentence. Smith-Riley also received an additional sentence of 11 years for a related attempted murder charge. However bad you think Smith-Riley's case was, it can't be compared to the infamous case of T.J. Lane. This is T.J. Lane, who's facing charges for multiple murders in Ohio. T.J. Lane was a convicted American murderer who gained notoriety after committing a horrific crime at Chardon High School in Ohio.
What did he do?
On February 27th, 2012, the Ohio Police Department responded to multiple calls from teachers and students that there was an active shooter in the building.
High school, we had
a school shooter.
multiple gunshots.
High School, we need police up here. There's someone in the building with a gun.
According to police reports, Lane entered the school and headed to the cafeteria. It was here that TJ Lane opened fire and killed 3 students and severely injured 3 others. 6 people got physically harmed at the hands of TJ Lane that day, but hundreds, if not thousands of people left Chardon High School on February 27, 2012 with intangible pain that will last through eternity.
Bro, what did you shoot a school up for, bro?
There's blood, there's people screaming, everybody's running in different directions, and you're just trying to get out.
I saw a kid holding a gun pointed towards a group of kids.
Do you remember the look
I
on
like
the
the
gunman's
fast
face?
forward and like.
I never looked at his face, I just looked at the gun. I still can't
crazy.
think about it all because it's just so scary.
Lane's actions sent shockwaves through the community. He was swiftly
I wonder if y'all
apprehended and
can hear my
charged with 3
stomach
counts of
growling.
aggravated murder, 2 counts of attempted aggravated murder, and 1 count of felonious assault. As if the murders were not bad enough, Lane showed no remorse for his actions at the trial and refused to cooperate with his attorneys. Instead, he appeared in court wearing a t-shirt with the word killer written on it, and even gave the middle finger to the victims' families. During the sentencing hearing, Lane made a shocking statement.
Saying to pull the trigger that killed your son, now it masturbates to memory.
The statement caused outrage and disgust, not only among the families of the victims, but also across the entire nation. The judge presiding over the case, Judge David Fury, described Lane's behavior as heinous, unprovoked, and senseless, and sentenced him to 3 life sentences in prison without parole. Lane didn't even bat an eyelid when he heard his sentence. He remained emotionless and unremorseful. Lane's behavior and reactions were likened to that of a psychopath. However, not every convict remained emotionless after hearing their sentence, like in the case of Ryan Stone.
Oh shit.
This is Ryan Stone,
that second one
who is facing
crazy,
charges
bruh.
for going on a crime splurge throughout the nation,
The school
including
shooting.
kidnapping and assault, all of which was captured and broadcasted live by helicopters. The chase began after Stone hijacked a car with a 4-year-old boy inside and drove off, leading police on a dangerous pursuit that lasted more than an hour. During the chase, Stone drove up to 100 miles per hour and was reckless in every regard of the word. He's seen here overtaking an innocent civilian on the highway, throwing them out of the car before carrying on in the new vehicle.
You smart.
That's not all.
I don't want to say you smart, but
exits
thank
the
God
highway,
you got out
opens the
and
car
got a
door
different
full
guard.
speed, then slams onto the brakes right before
Bruh,
crashing
is the
into
door
another
closed,
car
bruh?
parked in an intersection. Investigators believe this was a sorry attempt at another carjacking. Stone also crashed into several other vehicles during this chase, causing numerous injuries.
What
At
was
one
he
point,
doing, playing
he even
Grand
came
Theft Auto?
inches from taking out a policeman who was trying to place stop sticks on the highway. He eventually crashed the stolen car and attempted to flee on foot.
Bro, what? You don't even know what you're doing. Bro, he was about to take that car. She was like, hell no. Whoever was in it.
However, he was quickly apprehended by police and placed in a holding cell. As if Stone's actions weren't bad enough, he was caught on tape boasting about his actions to a friend who visited him in the cell.
Hey, did you know I made the news in the UK and Australia? What? Yeah, my lawyer told me I made the news in the UK and Australia. If you type in Grand Theft Auto on YouTube, my shit comes up first.
Ryan also believed that he should be compensated for his viral car chase because the news channels are using his car chase footage.
I'm gonna contact House of News.
I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it, but
you guys are getting paid using
you're
my name.
wild.
Stone was charged with 26 crimes
You
involving
are
kidnapping,
wild.
motor vehicle theft, assault, and eluding police. Stone's
Crazy.
sentencing hearing was emotional. In court, many of his victims and their families can be heard speaking about the impact of his crimes on their lives.
He didn't
Some
kill
spoke
nobody,
of
did
physical
he?
injuries they had sustained in the crash, while others described the emotional trauma they had experienced due to the incident. Stone spoke at the hearing. He cried, expressed remorse for his actions, and apologized to his victims. Isn't it ironic that in the same week, Ryan was captured in the video on the left, laughing and boasting about his crimes, and on the other video on the right, he's seen crying and begging for sympathy from the court, as he finally realized the severity of his actions.
What do you
Despite his
want
apology,
from me?
the judge in the case was unmoved, noting that Stone had shown a pattern of criminal behavior and that he posed a threat to society.
He's a wild
The judge
man,
handed down
bro.
the maximum sentence possible. Stone pleaded guilty to all charges and was sentenced to 160 years in prison without the possibility of parole.
So you were
Stone was in
sentenced to
tears when
life.
he learned he'd spend the rest of his life in prison. Stone blamed his actions on drugs, and his show of remorse might be sincere. However, some convicts are rather shocked by their sentences, like in the case of Seth Welch and Tatiana Fusari. This is Seth Welch and Tatiana Fusari, who are facing charges for first-degree murder in Michigan.
Damn.
Seth and Tatiana were the parents of 10-month-old Marianne Welch,
who
police said died of malnutrition and dehydration due to neglect on August 2nd, 2018, in Solon Township, Kent County, Michigan. Child Protective Services had been involved with the family since 2014 after THC was found in the system of their firstborn child. Mary weighed only 8 pounds at the time of her death. Her parents refused to seek medical help, citing religious reasons and distrust of the medical system. The family home was found to be unhygienic during the initial investigation, with evidence of vermin, insects, and mold.
Y'all
the
don't be
doctor who
cleaning.
performed the autopsy confirmed that Mary was suffering from chronic malnutrition caused by withholding food and water.
Bruh.
Seth's call to 911 revealed their level of neglect for their daughter.
And he said, when you found her,
Bruh.
she was already believed to be deceased, right?
Low-key make me mad.
And that's when you
Like, come on, bro.
Yep. Do you believe she was beyond help already? Oh, yeah. She was dead at the door now.
When in court, the prosecutors made sure to highlight just how neglectful the parents were of their 10-month-old child.
You didn't know that. And don't tell me you didn't intend that, because you didn't get her little tush out of that crib.
Oh, shit.
You left her in there. You ignored her because she was an inconvenience.
The couple was initially charged with felony homicide murder in August 2018. In June 2020, Seth Welch was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without parole. In 2021, Fusari testified that her husband was abusive and that she was not allowed to take Mary to the
victim
doctor.
now.
He got very angry with me.
Don't play
he snapped me across
victim
the face,
now.
and he told me that he knows how he said, you know what the I think about doctors.
Don't
I told you
play
Mary's
victim
fine. She's
now,
fine, I'll drop
bruh.
it.
In November 2021, Fusari was sentenced to life without parole for first-degree murder and an additional 15 to 30 years for first-degree child abuse. When the judge pronounced their life sentence, Seth's mouth dropped open in shock, and Fusari started crying. For many people, this couple got what they deserved. However, this wasn't the only time a convict got a sentence that felt like justice. There was the case of Esteban Carpio. This is Esteban Carpio, who is facing charges for murder in Rhode Island. Carpio is an American murderer who killed a detective at a Providence police station in 2005.
At the police
Providence
station?
Police Detective Sergeant James L. Allen and another detective were questioning Carpio at the Providence Police headquarters for accosting an 85-year-old woman, Madeline Gata. According to police reports, the second detective left to the third-floor interview room to retrieve some water. It was here where things took a turn for the worst.
Carpio had asked for water, and the two detectives that were in there with him, one left to go get the water and lock the door behind him. And they tragically heard Detective Allen say, I think he's going to kill me. He's got my gun, he's going to kill me. By the time they broke it down, the officer was dying, and Carpio had jumped out the window.
However, he was recaptured a few minutes later amid struggles with the police. But that was not the end of the drama. Due to the risky jump and struggles with the police, Carpio sustained injuries. When it came time for his sentencing, Carpio came to court wearing a mask designed to keep him from spitting at or biting others. His face was red, bruised, and swollen.
They fucked him.
When he appeared
I
in
gotta
court,
stop saying
his
that
family
word.
members
They
screamed and
messed
accused the
him
police of
up,
brutality.
bruh.
The family believed that they forced him to wear the mask to try and hide the brutal revenge beating they gave
No,
Carpio
yeah,
behind
they
closed doors.
like
in
I
fact,
said, they
Carpio's
messed him
aunt went on
up.
live TV to say this.
It's police brutality. He was mentally ill, and he needed help, and we couldn't get it. We tried and tried, and he didn't deserve it.
However, Providence Police Chief Dean M. Esserman argued that Carpio's injuries were sustained when he jumped from the third-floor interview room and resisted arrest.
My God,
the
he
FBI
jumped
later
that.
investigated
Okay.
the police,
All right.
but it was concluded that they did not use excessive force.
His eyes say otherwise. His eyes say otherwise.
Incident to arrest.
His eyes
Meaning,
say
if he's fighting the police
otherwise.
officers,
That ain't from the
the
jump.
officers have the right to
That
use
ain't
whatever
from
force
the
necessary
jump.
to subdue
That is
the
not from
subject.
the jump.
On June 27th, 2006,
oh my God,
the jury
I gotta
found
stop.
Carpio guilty of the murder of Detective
That
Allen
is
and
not
the
from the
stabbing
jump.
of Madeline Gata. Despite his plea of insanity, Carpio was sentenced to life in prison without parole. At first, he showed little reaction to his
I
sentence
mean, you
and
did
remained
what you
unmoved.
did, but they messed you
However,
up, bro.
later, in an attempt to win
Oh,
over
he's
the
like a whole
jury,
different
he
person.
was heard apologizing for his actions.
Every day, I face the facts of what I did and what happened.
Carpio claimed he was suffering from mental illness at the time of the crime, but the court didn't entertain the claims. However evil you think Carpio is,
saying
how does he compare to
you're
Kayla
not showing
Mendoza,
it.
who tweeted this the same night she took 2 girls' lives in a deadly
shit.
drunk driving crash? This is Kayla Mendoza.
Ms. Mendoza, to 2 counts of DUI manslaughter. That's count 1 and count 3. How do you plead?
Who is facing charges for double manslaughter, among other charges
Damn.
in Florida. The 20-year-old woman who was not licensed to drive was convicted of the murder of 2 women while drunk driving in Fort Lauderdale, Florida on November 17, 2013.
I be
Before the
telling
crash,
girls not to
Mendoza went to a
drive.
local
They be
bar
drunk.
with
They
her
be like,
manager and colleagues
"I'm
from her
okay."
job, where she drank
They're
2
like, "Bruh,
fishbowl
don't do it.
margaritas.
Don't do it.
A few hours later, Mendoza got behind the wheel of a Hyundai Sonata and drove the wrong way on
Damn,
the
mommy.
Sawgrass Expressway.
Kayla hopped into her car and went speeding the wrong way down the freeway at more than 80 miles an hour. She collided
Crazy.
head-on with another car.
Crazy.
Beautiful young
Crazy.
Marissa Cotronio.
How many cars did you go past as you driving 80 miles an
Mendoza was
hour
charged with 2
on the
counts
wrong
of DUI
side of the
manslaughter while
road,
impaired,
bruh?
2 counts of DUI manslaughter
Like,
with an unlawful
what?
blood alcohol level, 2 counts of vehicular homicide,
you
and
was
2 counts
that
of
lit?
driving without a license causing death.
Damn!
Mendoza's then boyfriend owned the Hyundai Sonata involved in the crash and explained that the Too Drunk to Care tweet was directed toward him.
The Too Drunk to Care tweet was for my boyfriend because he was upset I was out, hanging out with them and with Marcelo drinking because he wanted me to be home.
The Ferrante and Cotronio families
Bet
filed
you wish you was
lawsuits against
home.
Mendoza, her boyfriend, the T-Mobile store where Mendoza was employed, and the Tijuana Taxi Company.
And her
On May 4th,
boyfriend?
2015, 2 months after pleading guilty to 2 DUI manslaughter charges, Mendoza was sentenced to 24 years in prison.
24,
Mendoza
alright.
was apologetic throughout the trial. When she heard her sentence, her apology and crying intensified.
No matter how much time passes, I'm gonna live with that in my heart every day.
After her sentence, Mendoza will also serve 6 years of probation and is permanently banned from driving a motor vehicle. Mendoza's
Understandable.
apologies and remorse showed that she may yet be saved. However, the same cannot be said for Adrien Dunn.
Oh, shit.
This is Adrien Dunn,
Goddamn.
who is facing charges for murder in San Antonio. Adrien, an ex-convict, was sentenced for the murder of Rakeem Tariq Charles. Police said that Adrien shot Charles in the back
Oh,
during a drug
shit.
deal in a parking lot on July 16, 2012. To make matters worse, this wasn't even Dunn's first encounter with law enforcement.
To prison twice for possessing a firearm after this murder. He committed another shooting a month before this murder. And he's shown zero remorse.
Prosecutors urged the jury to impose the maximum sentence, noting that Adrien had an extensive criminal history and had shown no remorse for the murder. Prosecutor Jason Goss can be seen here holding the hand of the victim's parents.
Crazy.
Before arguing to the jury
Crazy.
that a life sentence was necessary to prevent another family from suffering, as Charles' family had.
Her son, who has to suffer, and this family who has to suffer because of the defendant. And that's why we're asking you for a life sentence.
If you thought the crimes were horrendous, wait till you see how Adrien reacted to his sentence.
Oh, shit.
Throughout the trial, Adrien showed no remorse and couldn't have been less concerned. He was found guilty of the crime. Still, his attorney argued that a sentence of 35 to 40 years would be more appropriate. His reasoning?
Don't give Adrien a chance to go into prison and try to make something of himself so that when he gets out, if he ever gets out, he can try to be an asset to our community.
However, the jury deliberated for just 2 hours before returning with a sentence of life in prison. As the jury's decision was read out, Adrien began to fight with Bexar County Sheriff's deputies, attempting to escort him from the courtroom. Dunn's behavior was marked by profanity and outbursts. He was eventually subdued and removed from the court. Adrien's case can be termed a drug case gone bad. However, while he remains stoic and combative,
Man, this
there are
shit
other
is
convicts who
crazy,
break down
bruh.
in court and feel genuine remorse for their actions.
Alright, y'all. If If y'all want me to check out more videos like this, let me know. Hit me up, tell me, send me a link. Let me know. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. This shit was crazy. This shit was crazy. This shit was crazy. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.
I told myself no back, you can just keep your love, I'm cool with it. Try to let them in, they backing up, they say can't handle it. Just give me some time, I made this feet. She said she need my heart, so why she down the shit? Yeah. That's how the game slide. Yeah, sitting there for the coupe, that's how the game slide. Yeah, sitting there for the. I got a bad bitch on me, yeah, sitting there for the. Yeah, son of yeah, sitting there for the coupe, that's how the game slide. Yeah, bad bitch on my line, she getting too wet beside it. Yeah, pussy function, I got a game beside me. Yeah, said I be making her mad, she getting too red like Target. I just can't keep my mama off me. Said she want more than she lost with me. We can go back for man, we doing that.
Keep it cool.
Keep it classy.
We love you.
Stay awesome.
Always.
And forever.